The Day It Happened. And here is your host, author, critic, and television star, Clifton Fadiman.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And welcome to television's newest evening of fun. Now, in just a few moments, you're going to meet some famous people. But first, I'd like you to meet the panel who will match wits with our witnesses. First, the star of Name That Tune and El Morocco, the inimitable George DeWitt. And seated next to the lucky boy is the lovely star of television and motion pictures who'll be remembered as Millie of Meet Millie, Elena Verdugo. And last, but hardly least, the distinguished gentleman who spends Saturday nights with Mr. C, the super suave Frank Yellow. Now, Colonel, you've got a problem. I'm going to present 5 people to you, see, who came into contact with a certain famous person on the day it happened. Now, the event will be one that you've heard about. And by questioning the 5 witnesses, you have to figure out 2 things: the event and the person to whom it happened. Now, the witnesses are only required to answer yes or no. Well, let's see how you do with the very first problem on the day it happened.
Our first witness to the day it happened is Nat Hiken. Mr. Hiken is the noted comedy writer and also is creator of the Phil Silver Sergeant Bilko show. Our second witness is Miss Gail Manning. She is an NBC guide. And this is Harvey London. He is the well-known actor who can be seen regularly as Corporal Rocco Barbella of Sergeant Bilko's famous platoon. The gentleman is Jack Healy. Mr. Healy is another member of Sergeant Bilko's platoon. This is Earl Foster. This famous comedian is not only a close friend, but guest starred with the person on the day it happened. The day it happened, in which all these witnesses participated, was the day Rocky Graziano, ex-middleweight champion, became an actor.
Okay. Here we go again, panel. Now, there are your witnesses to the day it happened. And this time, suppose we begin our questions with Elena Verdugo.
Oops.
Yep, it's you.
Harvey Lembeck, I'd like to speak to you, please. Harvey, is this person a man?
Yes.
On the day it happened, did you see much of him?
No.
Did you see him professionally?
No.
Did you see him socially?
Yes.
A drink?
No.
Lunch?
Yes.
Who paid the check?
I...
Were you alone with him when you were having lunch?
No.
Were you there when the event was taking place?
No, I wasn't.
Well, that's kind of funny. Was it an important event?
Oh, yes.
And you weren't there?
No.
Well, why weren't you there?
I'm that kind of fella.
Well, I'm confused. I don't think I'll go on with you. I think I'll go on to Mr. Hikem. Mr. Hikem, you're a writer. Did you write any of your material for him as a TV writer?
Yes.
Was it comedy material?
It was meant to be.
Then this person isn't a comedian.
Yes and no.
That's a very fair answer, I think.
Anybody in TV?
Well, is he well known for anything else besides this little thing that we're trying to figure out?
Yes.
Right,
Good.
one, pick it up from there.
Yes, Phil Foster.
Yeah.
Over here. Over here from the Dodgers. Phil, was he seen on television before the day it happened?
Yes.
Was it a dramatic performance?
Well, want to help me out, kid?
Yeah, I'll help you out. Technically, it was not a dramatic performance.
Technically, it was not dramatic. Was it a half-hour show?
You want to be helped out on that one, too?
Well, I don't know. I think you better help me out.
Sometimes.
Was it an hour show?
Sometimes.
I wish you'd try another line of questioning.
Well, simply, was he good?
Oh, boy. Sometimes.
Well, now, in the sometimes role, did he play a heavy?
Well, let me help you out.
Yeah, right, if you do it.
I don't know if you could exactly say he was a heavy Frank, but there were times when he got killed in the end. Figure that one out.
Dramatic. Jack Healy, did you know him prior to the day it happened?
Yes,
Have you known him 5 years?
yes,
10 years?
yes,
Longer?
yes.
Let me ask you this. Is he an actor?
Saved by the bell. George, I think we pass over to you.
Phil Foster,
Yeah.
you said you didn't know if it was a half-hour or an hour show. Is that right?
That's what I said.
Did you have a bodyguard?
No?
Were you a fan of this person before the day it happened?
Yes.
You were a fan. Were you a fan of this person after the day it happened?
Yes, sir.
Let me talk to Harvey Lembeck.
Sure.
Does this person have anything to do with the Bilko show?
No.
No.
Time for you, Elena.
Oh, Mr. Foster.
Yes?
Hi there. Is this fella active in the arts?
Yes.
Like an author?
If writing your name is cold enough.
Now, you've got
Let me-
to
let me-
help
I
me.
better ask Mr. Adamant.
Let me adjudicate that. If the definition of author is loose enough, the answer is yes.
You mean sometimes?
Sometimes.
Don't think I can improve on it.
All right, I got others. Painter?
Painter?
If the definition is looser still, painter, yeah.
You mean almost never?
I ain't saying.
Acting?
Yes.
Yes. Would I recognize him?
Yes.
I would recognize him. I would like to go over to you, Mr. Healy. Do you think this is the kind of fellow that a girl would dream about?
You don't have to answer that. Some girls, I don't know, some girls might dream about this type of fellow, Elena.
Oh, really? Were you ever connected with him professionally?
Yes.
Oh, then at one time there was some kind of an association in acting with him.
Yes.
I'd like to go to the page, lady. Hello. Let me try to think. Did you know that this event was going to take place?
Yes.
When you met, were you acting in your official capacity?
Yes.
As a bodyguard?
No.
What do you think? Do you think he's the kind of fellow girl would dream about?
That's sort of hard to say.
Why doesn't anyone want to help?
She's helping you as much as she
Nobody
can.
wants
She's just
to
doing it
dream.
very cautiously, that's all. How about you, Frank?
Kip, I'd like to talk to Harvey Lembeck.
All right.
Harvey, we found out now that you had lunch with this person on the day it happened. Was this something special?
Yes.
It was special. Now, you knew the event was going to take place, yet you weren't present. Isn't that a little unusual?
I don't see why it should be unusual. I know a lot of things that take place that are very important, but I don't go.
Did you think you might not enjoy it?
Oh, I knew I would enjoy it.
I take it that this person is very well known. Now, was he well known before the day it happened?
Yes.
He was. Nat, you said that you wrote for the person on the day it happened.
Yes.
Did you write any of his previous appearances?
No.
You have written for him since.
Yes.
Have you ever seen him before the day it happened?
Yes.
Was he performing when you saw him?
No.
He was not performing when you saw him.
In that sense of the word.
Were you present when the event took place?
Yes.
Miss Page girl, were you thrilled when you met this person?
Yes.
Had you ever seen him on television prior to the day it happened?
No, I hadn't.
Now, you see a lot of famous celebrities here in NBC. Did you consider him a celebrity?
Yes.
You did. Huh.
Second round. George?
I would like to talk to Miss Manning, the NBC page girl.
Why not?
In your job as a page, you guide tours, is that correct?
That's right.
Well, yet you said this man, he was a celebrity, that's true. So this must have been away from your regular job.
Yes.
And do I understand that you recognized him despite the fact you'd never seen him before?
That's right.
Have you ever worked as a bloodhound? Harvey Lembeck. I know you, Harvey, and if you paid for the lunch that day, this guy must have really been a celebrity. Big, huh? Do you always pay for lunch when you're with him?
No.
Did Jack Healy have lunch with you that day?
Yes.
He did. Jack, I'd like to talk to you. Jack, was the event that happened completely unusual for the person?
Pardon?
Was the event that happened completely unusual for the person?
It was.
It was. I mean, he was prepared for it. It wasn't an accident.
No, he was prepared for it.
Has it been established that he's a comedian?
Yes.
He is a comedian. Does he make you laugh?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Just once, then.
Just once. How come you didn't pick up the check?
I got it. Mr. Parliament, I'll have to ask you to answer.
Will you pick up the check? All right.
We've all had a chance to grill our witnesses sufficiently, I think. Suppose we take your votes. Written down the name and the event.
Well,
How about Elena first?
I'm going to write an old friend of mine down here because I think it could possibly be Jose Ferrer.
Jose Ferrer. Why do you say that?
Why did they laugh? He's not a comic. Because this is a triple threat kind of person. He's an artist, a painter, a writer, a director, and he's since Cyrano, which I just saw, which I happen to have been in. No, I think it could be Jose.
You know, you sound so convincing, I wish it were true. Unfortunately,
I bet
it's
he
wrong.
does, too.
That's one wrong. How about you, Frank?
I think it was Rocky Graziano.
It was Rocky Graziano, and what is the event that you associate with him?
Knowing all of these people here, knowing that they have worked with and have known Rocky over a period of time, I know that Jack Healy was his manager. I know that Phil Foster, when he left Ebbets Field, used to go to the Garden to watch athletic events, because when we mentioned the indefinite time of the performance,
that's right,
half hour, more or less, sometimes an hour, sometimes not, then we got around to Nat Hiken, who in the past has written some beautiful lines for me. He said that he had written for this particular person. So we have a combination of athlete, actor, fighter, thespian. So I think it was the day that Rocky Graziano made his debut as thespian.
Absolutely right. Beautiful reason.
Good evening. Thank you.
And Frank is one of the few people who actually looks like Sherlock Holmes, too. That gives us one wrong and one right. Seems to me you're the deciding boy, George. What do you think it would be?
Go along with Frank Gallup.
Attaboy.
Rocky Graziano, the day he became an actor.
What was your line of reasoning?
Well, my line of reasoning was Jack Healy. I knew that Jack was Rocky's manager, and Jack became an actor, and soon after, Rocky did too, on the Martha Ray Show.
That's right.
Which Nat Hiken wrote.
That's right. Good enough. That's pretty good. Well, that's we win this one. That's the majority of 2 right out of 3.
I would have known that if I hadn't been in California.
Why don't you stay with us? And so our wits on the second round defeat the witnesses. Now let's meet our guest of honor, the ex-middleweight champion of the world, Rocky Graziano. That's smart, Rocky. Rocky, seems to me I remember that when we first contacted you, we wanted the event to be the time you won the middleweight championship of the world, but you said that the day that you became an actor was a much bigger day in your life. Is that right?
Well, that's right. I was fighting all my life, so I didn't surprise me when I won. But believe me, when I found myself in a Martha Ray show, I was the most surprised guy in the world. And it started a new career for me. Well, the championship was almost a accumulation.
What?
How do you like that for big words?
I like that straight. I'm going to take that home with me tonight.
I never knew those words when I was a fighter, boy.
Finally, got any questions of Rocky or anyone else?
Oh, I have one.
Yeah?
Who said he wasn't the lover type?
Yeah, who said that?
I think he's beautiful.
Tell me, Rocky, actually, who was responsible for you becoming an actor? I want to pin this down.
Well, actually, Ray Robinson.
Who's Ray Robinson?
Tell her who Ray Robinson.
Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray, that's the guy I fought with, and that's when I threw my towel in.
You didn't throw the towel in after the fight. It was during the fight. And I threw it in. The man responsible for Rocky Graziano's success is not Hyken. And I should know I was there when he got his call.
Yes, he's the one that talked me into it.
Well, now, Connelly, before we ask for questions, let me tell you, if I can, the role that all of these people here played in the great day that Rocky Graziano became an actor. Now, let's see. Harvey Lembeck, incidentally, plays Corporal Barbella on the Phil Silvers show, and that's Rocky's real name, isn't it, Rocky?
That's right.
And Harvey had lunch with Rocky on the day it happened. And that lovely NBC guide over there was assigned to see that Rocky actually found his way to the studio for rehearsal. And we've heard the important role that Nat Hyken played in the event, and as for Phil Foster, as our visitors know, he was a guest star on the Martha Ray show that fateful night. And Jack Healy is an actor now, too. But Jack was Rocky's fight manager, and he's known Rocky all his life. Now, does anything else remain unanswered?
I have a question.
Yeah?
Harvey said that he had lunch with him on that day, but yet that he wasn't there when the event was taking place.
That's what I said.
Harvey?
Well, why did...
What's that?
I don't understand.
Oh, well, I couldn't get a ticket, so I went and saw it at home on my television set.
Well, then what did you mean when you said that he was also a painter and a writer and...
Oh, he paints beautifully.
Oh.
And he it's not that he's a writer, but he collaborated with a gentleman who wrote a very famous book.
No, that's correct. Want to tell him the name of the book?
Somebody up there bust my head.
Somebody up there likes me, and a very good book it was. And he is a painter. He is a painter, Elena. He says himself that what he paints is original Picasso.
That's right. That's right. It's beautiful.
There's one thing I'd like to have clarified, Skip. The NBC page girl said that she didn't know Rocky, had never seen him, yet she found him and escorted him to the studio. Correct? How could this happen?
Well, they sent me down to the lobby to find Mr. Marciano, and
He is a heavy.
We look alike, sorry.
Well, how did it finally come out?
well, I took him up, and I don't know, but I found him. They said I'd know him, and I did.
I think I'm more confused than before.
No, I think that makes perfect sense. Just look at him. Who else would he be?
She was looking for a cute guy, and she picked me.
Well, Rocky, it's been great fun having you with us. We wish you the greatest luck in your acting career, and thanks very much.
Thank you. I had a ball, and thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for tonight. We've had fun playing the day it happened, and we hope you've enjoyed it, too. So until next time, good night to our panel, George DeWitt, and lovely Elena Verdugo, and that intellectual bird dog, Frank Gallup.
Good night, Skip.
And they'll all be back with us to match wits with another group of interesting witnesses on the day it happened.
The Day It Happened is a Providence production.